I'd like to see Twig either get Hombats this game. I mean,
Yes.
I actually think Twig played the best out of that, and then followed by Prime.
He played solid.
Ataraxia didn't really make any mistakes. He just didn't have any support. He couldn't do anything.
Honestly, it was kind of a situation where Hunger for More were allowed to make 0 mistakes, and every single individual mistake resulted in big wins for Eager. That was just how the picks and bans came out. You know, we're talking pretty heavily about, or I am, about kind of the individual mistakes they've made, but if their composition is a little bit more early or mid-game focused, those mistakes don't really cause massive gains for Eager, and it's okay to have that.
Just something to get them through the early game. That's all they needed there. And I feel that the Cupid pick was the biggest thing for them that threw them through the loop. There's a Circuit ban, there's a Nemesis ban, so we're going back to the bans from previous game, and there's the difference. The Raven ban from Hunger for More. Hit Divios, make him change it up, but Divios, to be fair, he's probably going to go with Cyrus now.
Divios has a pretty deep god pool. He could, Susano was left open. Eager banning away Thor and Nemesis. They're not too scared of this, though. They do have some options that they could look to counter with.
But it's aggressive early on. That's the big one there. Will we see it in the jungle? More than likely is what I want to say here. We probably won't see it going over into the solo lane, but it can solo lane if it wants to as well. Sobek and Zeus, once again, for Eager, they get priority picks that they're comfortable with. They're so comfortable that they left Susano up.
And that's just, they wanted that kind of rotational power from Sobek. Looking for the picks. Zeus guaranteed mid-control in a lot of situations unless you have a low-pressure jungler. The Chain Lightning's so strong. Hunger for More, back to the Bacchus. This is a little bit better, though. Obviously, the Bacchus is early game focused, but the comp around it was very late game, and he couldn't carry them through.
And Bacchus against Sobek and against Zeus is a good pick on paper. You've got if you get pulled by Sobek, you can jump away again straight away. That's fine. And against Zeus, you stop him getting a lot of the damage off. But Jing also picked up by Ataraxia now. He's gone from a more... All right, calm down.
Who is that? That's probably the best.
The best.
It's the best. Best is highlighting.
If he locks us in, this god did not get played in regular split all season.
They have a Zeus. They're not locking
maybe they do jungle. DJ's that confident he's going to jungle it.
Against Bacchus, Jingwei, Susano. Susano will destroy it.
They banned Raven, right? I know lane dominant god early game. What's lane and dominant in the solo lane early game? Anubis now, it's fun.
Yeah. The same 3v3 core from Eager, and this is what they did. We actually took note of it during the split. They would pick a mid jungle and support, and then the next set they would get the same mid jungle and support. It happened almost half their games in the spring split, and they're just so good at controlling that.
Now, Hunger for More haven't picked a mid laner here, and the funny story about the old Titan boys, which PrettyPriMe and Ataraxia were part of, and leaders of this team as well, whenever they didn't pick a mage in the first half of picks and bans, they always went to Scylla.
I forgot about that.
So just keep an eye on that, because if it does come up with Scylla here, it wouldn't surprise me that Hunger for More go for that.
The only other one they would go to is Vulcan. And honestly, Zeus has no way to get out of the Vulcan ult if he's slowed in any manner, right? If he's intoxicated and Prime hits it perfectly, he's stuck in it. I don't know if they're going to go to that. I think Scylla's much safer.
Well, Prime's not bad. Sorry, Prime's a very good Vulcan. He's the best Vulcan potentially in the world.
I mean, Titan Vulcan, they have a skin dedicated to it, basically.
And if you hit the meatball on the back of Zeus, he's going to be pulled into you for the backfire as well.
It's a little bit risky in a Fenrir. Fenrir can just chase with Brutalize, and it's really dangerous where Scylla can Sentinel out. Bans, they're going to be done. And actually, Cupid banned away. And Chuck. The Chuck, a little bit surprising to me.
What's more surprising, the Cabrakan locking, which is probably going to go solo lane for Divios here.
I knew that Cabrakan was probably going to be a pick we're seeing here because it counters so many picks in the meta. Odin as well, we saw coming out from, I believe it was Demi last game. These gods that can lock down characters like Susano, right? Whoa. They cage him in. He only has one direction to escape from.
No Guan Yu picked up by either side here as Tear does get locked in for Hunger for More and the solo lane. And it is going to be Raw as well, picked up for the mid lane of PrettyPriMe. They're looking for the sustain, the back, and basically reinitiate time and time again if they can find it. They've got a comp that's good for that, though. They can sit back, wait for cooldowns, go aggressive, heal back up, go aggressive. But will Eager let them do that?
It's a little bit worrying picking this Raw into the Cabrakan, though. It's going to be the same with Susano, but even worse, right? Susano, he can only get away in one direction, and the Cabrakan a lot of times will body block that. Raw, if he gets caged in, he's got one way to go, and he has no movement abilities to get out.
Now, is there a chance we could see Fenrir solo, though, instead? Because Divios has done that before, and Cabrakan jungle feels very strong to me as well against this as well, just being able to pressure the Raw early.
Divios used to always play Fenrir, and honestly, Cabrakan is a god for djpernicus, more so than Divios when we've seen it. But I think either way will work for this composition. It's kind of what they want. Do they want Fenrir to look for the kills on the Raw, or do they want Cabrakan to?
Well, Jingwei and Susano, some of the latest gods out in Smite, are now actually going to be played in this game. And Susano, a lot of people expected would be banned pretty much by every team here. But Eager, not worried about it. Quite clearly, they've practiced it. They've played against this. They know what to do.
Well, they've been scrimming, I believe it was Paradigm as well, at a LAN center here in Jönköping, Sweden. And apparently, they just kind of let Susano through as a character they're not too worried about. They feel like there's counters, so you can see on the screen, it's going to be Eager taking on Hungry for More. Eager getting the better of this squad and just completely outdrafting them in game 1. I think HFM have a little bit of a better composition here in game 2.
Game 2 is a very interesting composition coming out from both teams, honestly. There's a bit of a mix-up from where Cabrakan's going to be, where the Fenrir is going to be on the side of Eager. The rest of their composition pretty much standard from them, similar to last time. And then the side of Hungry for More, well, we'll find out where they're going to go as we're into game here. But Hungry for More, they're looking to fight a little bit more here, especially with Susano in the jungle.
Prime here on Raw, game 2. HFM completely decimated last time here. And it's going to be about early pressure once again. Eager running the same 3v3 core, but they do have the Xbalanque for late game, as well as that kind of global presence. And it's Divios in the solo lane with Cabrakan. I believe we only saw him on this once during the spring split, so we'll have to see how he does, power pot in hand.
But look at the amount of wards down already from Eager. Hungry for More do not want to go in the jungle. Aror and Sobek, you don't want to get pulled in, but 4 wards straight across the line, all the way keeping an eye on Hungry for More's starting position in the jungle, as well as even controlling mid here with that ward right in front of Prime, which Hungry for More saw them drop and like pinged it, but it's like, that's control already. You're not going to get a sentry that early to stop it.
They just wanted the rotations. Eager have always been about the early game, and if they know what their opponents are doing, they can counter that. I guarantee you, Eager is a squad who has counters to every single start imaginable, depending on where they feel they have the pressure.
At least power potions for both junglers and the best in the mid lane. CaptainTwig did go power potion at the beginning of this game, just for some early clear here.
Not again. Meditation on Bacchus. You can see Aror, he's picked up the curse.
But that's not suddenly the worst thing in the world. Just because he's got meditation, he should be okay if he plays on it. If they can get an early aggression in the lane, which is a little bit different this time. And it's not a Cupid, it is a Xbalanque.
It's a little bit different, but it's kind of the same vein where if you get focused down early game, obviously MANALIKE has a pretty good counter engage, and like you said, the composition going to be much better than it used to be, but it is a worrying factor, right? MANALIKE, who is a very aggressive player, who likes to sit on the front line, is going to have to either change his style or change his relics. And he didn't change his relics, so he's going to have to play defensive.
I understand the idea of getting meditation against the Zeus because the detonate damage can be nullified by it and escape. But aggression again from the dual lane of Eager, looking for poke. And Zapman following up nicely there. Some very good autos just to push back Hungry for More early.
And you can see just forced to use those potions. Ataraxia going to be behind in this lane. MANALIKE as well jumping away, and that's just what Eager wants to do. They want to bait out as many abilities as possible and then just throw that poke into you, force you to get out early.
And Hungry for More so worried about their jungle there that you can actually see that they took back harpies on the left, then went back harpies on the right before going mid. They want to make sure that if Eager go aggressive, they're not going to find anything. But MANALIKE pulled time and time again here as they're still looking for poke, and MANALIKE's in a lot of trouble. The curse comes out as well. One more hit will be it, and Zapman, first blood for Eager.
Completely clean execution coming out from Eager there. MANALIKE once again out of position in lane, gets plucked by Aror, who's on point. We've seen 3 connect already. The curse comes out. That's actually why they were the mid lane. The whole reason behind that is because they want to know what the other support is going for their relics. If a sprint's popped up, I don't think MANALIKE or I don't think Aror is picking up that curse, but because he knows the meditation is there, it's a direct counter to that in the lane.
Well, you actually saw MANALIKE come back from base there and pick up some experience from his mid laner and jungler on the way back through the back harpies. So this has actually slowed down these two hitting level 5 just by a little hair. And I'm not sure if this wave is going to hit them level 5.
Just barely.
Just enough for Twig and Prime Advice. That could have been an awkward
lazy
situation,
back.
but Twig's caught out of position, has to dash away. But it's good poke pressure already.
If Pern is 5 there, you can guarantee that Twig is forced to burn his purification, but the experience lead somehow, even with sharing those backs, was in favor of HF. Oh, Divios.
Just off the mark with that, trying to abuse the fact Variety still
that would have been a kill.
Level 4 there. But now with that being down, Variety could call for a gank here from Twig, looking for some extra pressure on Divios.
It's possible, and you can actually see Twig. The only farm up for him are those back harpies on the right-hand side, so he will be in the area. His speed's going to be spawning, but look at this, DJ. Hardy making the rotation as well, but he's pinged out.
Expecting it as the Fearless does hit from Divios there. Both junglers meet in the jungle at the same time, so they recognize the position.
They had the same idea.
Looking for the stream, but not going to find it.
Both had the same idea, wanting to burn the other solo laners' abilities, maybe teleport, force them backward, or look for that kill. But HFM doing a little bit better in game 2 here. You can see about a 1,200 lead for Eager. They did get first blood once again, but it hasn't all collapsed in on them. I believe it was a 3K lead at this point last game.
Let's just say for lanes overall, Raw against Fenrir as well. A little bit better matchup for the Raw. Just hang on a second. Twig has rotated, pulling Divios into an awkward position. Divios is trying to get back to his tower, going to find the stun. And actually Zapman using his ultimate there just to help out his solo laner if it was required. Meanwhile, what are Eager doing? They're stealing a speed buff.
And CaptainTwig going to be a little bit late, actually in trouble trouble here, but I'm just going to walk it back and just smart and intelligent play coming up from Eager.
A blue buff as well going their way. So this gang that came out from Twig here looking to pressure solo lane has resulted in them losing the whole right-hand side of their jungle. He pulls them in, but that's all he's going to be able to do. Nobody else here for a rotation.
Oh, look at this
But
one.
I do like what MANALIKE is doing here. Look at him on the left-hand side. He's stealing the red buff with the help of Prime, trying to answer something back.
This is bad, though. They did it a little bit too late. If they had pulled the trigger much sooner, it would have been clean, but instead, Zapman is going to find PrettyPriMe on the rotation. However, CaptainTwig's rotated in as well. Zap in trouble.
And he's going to go back towards MANALIKE, who intoxicates him and puts him back to Twig. Zapman goes down, it's 1-1, but the brutalized damage is gone onto Prime. But DJ Solo is going to get away. The belch is good. The flop is off the mark, though, from MANALIKE. His best did pick up Prime, and Ataraxia forced to airstrike away.
That almost looked incredibly clean for Hungry for More. Zapman was guaranteed dead. They did pick him up. Unfortunately, though, the flop was off the mark. djpernicus was as good as dead. Misplay coming out from MANALIKE, maybe a little bit of nerves. He was slow on that and just off the mark.
I love the rotation from Zapman. He was actually rotating to make sure that the red was even not taking all those harpies where he finds Raw, goes aggressive thinking he's the opportunity, but the rotation from MANALIKE coming back from the red side of the jungle, as well as Twig coming over. He didn't know about them. Gets collapsed, but the response from Eager was good enough to answer back.
And I was a little bit worried about HFM there. They stole the red, but it was a little bit slow. Divios baiting Variety. He knows. Variety knows.
Well, he's setting bad guy because he doesn't have vision for anybody in the map right now. He's got no real wall placements down here. He's got to respect the fact they could be going aggressive on. And Variety's such a very well... He's used to being ganked these days, so he's like, okay, gonna sit back, be patient, and just farm safely. I don't want to get over-aggressed early. Let me get to that midpoint. Let me get a couple more defensive items online, and then I will terrify you with my Fearless Chains.
I mean, HFM are a phenomenal late-game team. That's what they excel at here. And look at this. Smart play by Variety, actually letting the minions die. So Divios loses about 3 minions of XP and gold.
It's not just that, it also freezes the wave in place. But Divios is baiting because he's got DJ with him, and Variety fell for the trap. Now he's surrounded, and he'll go down again. He was looking for Divios, but Divios would not make a mistake like that. That was too... It was obvious. It was kind of obvious.
But here's the thing. Divios putting a lot of... oh, no, DJ jumps away. CaptainTwig, he'll be fine, though. DJ has ultimate.
Ragnarok comes out, and Twig being pulled under the tower here. Didn't have purification. Actually, did have purification available, but held on to it. Didn't want to burn it, and wise decision. But now MANALIKE's here too, and CaptainTwig was trying to bait DJ in. The flop comes out too. Good burst, intoxicate as well. The ultimate is down, but he's not going to find the kill as Twig misses Typhoon.
I guarantee you that was miscommunication. CaptainTwig wasn't baiting. He fully backed. MANALIKE had already walked up, jumped, knocked someone up. CaptainTwig is going to find a kill, but Divios, he's already walked back and picked up the return.
While that goes on, though, Eager got the gold fury on the other side of the map. Ataraxia, the only one there to try and defend. But the burst was just good enough from TheBest and Zapman to bring it down.
Hungry for More are actually just looking completely outclassed. Eager, such an intelligent squad. We've seen them all game, just all set, honestly. The second HFM have a little bit going for them. Eager steal away the buff. They steal a Gold Fury. They'll find a pick across the map, and it is so hard for HFM. They're on their back foot at all times.
Another speed buff being looked at again by Eager here. Just respawn. They know the timer. They got the last one, as well as the blue buff. Variety being looked at again. Plucked into Best, and Best going to get out some free in-hands. But Variety with the Fearless and the flop follow-up from MANALIKE. The burst down TheBest. He was at the back. They brought the carries to him, and he ends up going down.
Variety still has alt curses popped. The Divios going aggressive. Wants MANALIKE and CaptainTwig. But it looks like he's gonna stop the aggression as fire elementals are picked up by DJ. Still waiting around the corner, though.
That was good from Eager, but it was better answer back from Hungry for More. Variety knowing to just Fearless TheBest, try and get some burst on, and MANALIKE's follow-up just combined so nicely and comfortably that Hungry for More find themselves a kill.
And now Zapman, you can see pressuring out Ataraxia. He's been behind in this lane. Does have an experience lead, but down about 300 gold. That was the Gold Fury, to be fair. So for the most part, I imagine this lane's been going even. Zapman, though, going to use this opportunity to rotate over. You can see he's going to be picking up mid-camps as that blue buff getting aggressed onto. And, ooh.
Not sure if he got one of those there, but it was a nice little attempt at him. On the right-hand side, though, it's a 2v2 again. The blue buff being stopped, being taken from Eager here as Hungry for More, trying to look for it themselves. Holding his Divios, but he gets some good damage back. And now Divios on the run. There's the ultimate coming out because he's got a rotation from his team. Prime just used his ultimate, remember, so he's not going to have that available. But there's 4 members of the team over here, and they still don't find the pick.
That Xbalanque ult is so useful for Eager's squad. Obviously, they don't have as strong this aggressive, dominating comp compared to what Hungry for More has picked up here in game 2. However, that Xbalanque, anytime they're in trouble, Zap isn't using it aggressively. He's actually using it defensively. He trusts his team, can find kills without it, and he's just there to save anyone.
Well, this isn't as bad as you may think if you're a Hungry for More fan right now. The gold differential between the two teams, you're talking 1,600 gold as Variety does get automated in, but he's trying to hold his fearless there, as you could see, to make sure he didn't get out of range of being pulled away. So no more stun follow from Divios there as the walls were dropped down. And you saw Divios hold the wave under the tower. He was actually given a window if DJ was like, do you want to go in, buddy? If you want to go in, I'll tank it for a few shots for you.
Funny enough, last game, it was all about really picking on MANALIKE, finding kills on him. This time, though, it's been Variety. They put so much focus onto this right-hand side. A really good job by Variety to only die once, and that was a beautiful bait by Divios as well. And djpernicus hits the perfect stun.
And this matchup's a little bit different, and he's also not got a jungler that was as strong as he was last game either. That's not going to cause him as much of an issue. But at the moment, Hungry for More are doing a lot better for themselves. I don't think they're out of this game by any stretch of the imagination. Eager did get that Gold Fury, though, and Hungry for More overextended for one of the kills, which it should actually just be 2-3 in terms of kills right now, but Twig dived very deep for that last one.
They still have Susano. Raw as well here, going to be able to translate at all stages of the game, and if they can, you know, either get ahead, they do have the massive amount of sustain. They do have this siege ability. They don't have the best poke, but at the very least, they're going to be able to stay healthy if Eager look to poke them out.
Just keep an eye on where Divios goes in terms of build now, because he's probably going to want Blink more than he wants another curse for the team. He will invest into it if he needs to, though. Could potentially see DJ do that, though.
Med isn't bad as well here, I don't think. You can see Divios just outplaying Variety continuously. This has just not been a matchup that he came in looking strong. Last game, he got behind early. This game, he's just been getting baited nonstop.
And while the red buff is being looked at, Prime is here, but he's alone against 4, and he doesn't realize it just yet. He does now. He's going to use the purification and his ultimate to try and stay alive, but the bird is already dead. It's chicken dinner tonight for Eager, as now they're heading mid lane, because there's 2 members overextended there now.
He knew he was dead, and now TheBest in a little bit of trouble. Gets knocked up by Susano, but there it comes on top. No purification for the support, and he's going to fall. Airstrike out for Ataraxia as well, as it looked like Zapman was taking the 1v1 and winning it again.
And now the speed buff invaded from Eager again. They're now on the right-hand side of the map pressure, and they've got the teammates coming if they need to as well. Divios and Aror here, as Variety does defend it and managed to get away. But the speed buff was finally defended there from Hungry for More.
And now 6-3 in kills, Eager ahead by about 3,500. Not that massive of a lead. This is still something HFM has a chance at, but it's going to be hard. They're not as behind as they were in game 1. Gold Fury spawning now. Eager, they're going to be looking to do this. You can see Zap Pact picking up his Zik file. He wants that power spike as well as a second relic.
I mean, we keep saying it's not that much gold behind for Hungry for More, but when you get your jungle stripped like that, you lose your red buff, you lose a player that you know they're on that side of the map, you push up mid, you get picked in mid, and then you lose your speed buff on the other side potentially, but manage to hold on to it because of the rotation from Variety. It just doesn't work out so well. You've got to tighten things up. The wall coverage earlier on was good from Hungry for More, but Eager are just exploiting small mistakes from Hungry for More every single time.
I mean, you have to look at it, right? Hungry for More, once they got their new composition, as actually Gold Fury started up by HFM. This is a surprise.
Well, they've got Raw for the snipe boost. The boost, sorry, the burst,
I think they're just trying to sneak it. They were trying to sneak it. They thought Eager was back at base, but Eager just going to walk, pick it up. You can see it's already down to half, and no one even close. This is free.
They're just backing up a little bit too late. Variety's coming around the back with the teleport, though. Got to find TheBest. Fearless him into the wall. No purification out of TheBest just yet. Does have it available, though. There's the Sanctuary from his Variety. Still focusing him, and Best is left all alone. No support from him. Aror, though, does take out MANALIKE, and Best solos Variety on the back there. 1-on-1. Even Zapman wasn't involved in that.
I mean, now he's been soloed twice in only 2 games. Once by Divios, once by TheBest. Zapman was just kind of hanging around. I think he threw out an auto attack or 2, so not a true solo, but Divios gonna get sniped out, but look how taking this Cabrakan is. He's gonna turn it around.
But it's not enough for a kill, and there's not enough damage for Divios here. Ataraxia gets to this fight, looking for the damage on Pernicus, who sanctuaries away, but pulled back in by Twig. Gonna head into the jungle, looking to try and unchain away, and he does. Back towards the defense of Aror with a beautiful tail whip on point to get away. Twig, very low on mana, but really thinking about going in for the kill. But Eager come up big in the fight again.
Absolutely brutal for Hungry for More. 2 players that they nearly had locked down. Off of that, they probably could have gotten some objectives or at least stripped away that speed buff. Instead, though, Eager somehow managed to stay alive. Divios pulls out there. I think he was less than 50 health, and then DJ just completely outplaying HFM. He just looks like he's going to jump one way, instantly jumps over Ataraxia, and he can't find the last couple of hits.
That was him and Aror really combining him, because Aror,
the knock-up.
He had to have the knock-up. That knock-up was so important from Aror to give the window for DJ to continue running away. Tail whip just came into play so big there, and Eager are just all on the same page.
Look at MANALIKE's face, bottom left. It is not a happy support player right now.
I mean,
level 9.
MANALIKE always looks like that, so you can't say that. Like, he's always the same sort of face. Whether he's winning or losing.
You know what happened? We saw the collapse, game 1. 2 minutes. We haven't seen him clap since.
That's true, that's true. Well, he's got meditation still. We're looking for his level 12 for his second relic online. He's 3 levels down now on Aror. And that's a big one there. His variety now on the right-hand side being pressured by Divios. He's
got to get out.
Pernicus turn up too, and he's got to walk away from this. But now a rotation from Hungry for More here as well, as they stun variety under the tower. That's both stuns down for Divios.
Oh,
Tier 1 falls. The snipe was absolutely perfect from Prime. So they do take out the Zeus, but now MANALIKE's in trouble and he will fall in trade.
One more hit and there it is. And now PrettyPriMe here with CaptainTwig and variety. Divios going aggressive. There's the whirlwind. It's not enough, but actually Divios knocked up. This could be good. PrettyPriMe is going to be able to escape, but 3 members and Trimmers.
And there's the Unchained coming out from DJ as well, looking for Ataraxia, who has to airstrike away. They're still pinned in together, and Prime stuck around to support his team.
Behind.
He gets paid off as well, and Zap is now coming in, looking to try and close the angle off and find a final pick on Twig, as finally only variety is back at safety for now.
Twig should be able to get out of here. He's on Susano, incredibly mobile, but the speed buff and tier 1 on the right stripped away. Eager right now. They find themselves up 6 kills as well as nearly 8,000 gold, and it looks like they're looking to extend that with the tier 1 and mid. 4 members grouped up. No one can defend but Twig, and he's out of mana.
Now the second tower is going to fall off the game in favor of Eager here. 14 minutes in, and it's starting to go very similar way as game 1 now. Experience lead of 7,800 is just over, 1,000 experience every 2 minutes here.
Wow.
In favor of them.
I mean, this is, we talked about it. I think this is just a meeting of a meta that Hungry for More has never dealt with, and they weren't able to adapt after game 1. Game 1, completely outdrafted. It was high pressure versus incredibly late game, and they just weren't used to European teams who don't really push those advantages as much as Eager does in North America.
Well, EU do have some aggressive early game teams, but if you can get through them and you can hold on, and that's Hungry for More style, they don't get punished as hard as what Eager have punished them here every single time. A fight on the right-hand side, we're taking tier towers left. A fight on the left-hand side, we're taking tier towers right. Or we're picking trades every single time. Worst case scenario, every fight has been a trade in favor of Eager. Whenever Hungry for More have got a kill.
I don't think Eager, or excuse me, HFM have found a single advantage in either of these games so far, right? CaptainTwig has made some nice plays. Once again, finds himself with 2 kills, so getting stuff done for his team, but he's 3 levels behind DJ.
Now DJ knew exactly where he was there by that wall that he stood next to, and CaptainTwig was hanging around the corner looking to try and find a pick himself. Instead, he takes some free poke one more time. I will give credit to Twig though. His performance overall has been the best so far.
He's had a great set.
He's finding kills. He's finding the gold. He's finding what he needs to. He's been trying to keep pace both games with DJ, but this time around, DJ's now got a 3-level lead.
And to be fair, it's PrettyPriMe. PrettyPriMe as well has played incredibly consistent, but the lack of pressure across the map hasn't allowed him to really be able to do anything. He's getting picked off at his own back camps earlier on, and that's nothing you can deal with yourself unless you're under tower. And then you're just getting all your jungle stripped away, and you're getting further behind. TheBest right now, level 14, 2, 2, and 3. And honestly, HFM have done a really good job of shutting down him when DJ and Aror leave him alone.
They found the best a lot because they've been throwing targets into him, expecting Zeus to burst it enough, and they didn't manage to find the kill. The one time where we saw them completely leave him alone and made a mistake from my point of view and Eager was they left him 1v1 against Variety, but he found the outplay. He found the 1v1, and that was just more than likely to do the fact that Variety had no magical protection against the Zeus.
And he's picked up a little bit now, you can see, working on the Spellbound Kusari. Probably going to go into Genji's garb, so he has a little bit of CDR. And honestly, Tyr can carry over pretty well and just be a setup for a team. And now he's going to probably have to set something up. Divios is over on the right-hand side, but he has his teleport's down. This is a numbers advantage for HFM, and Eager can't force it.
But teleport has come out from Variety, so it's a small win for Eager already. They can just hang around here and let Divios continue to push up to the tier 2 tower, try and deny a little bit of farm. They have to respect this Eager and just see if they get a response every time they go Gold Fury, because the snipe coming out from Raw and the Intoxicate coming out as well from the Bacchus is just so strong. They've got execute abilities that are a little bit more favorable than what Eager has available to them.
It's really going to come down to how fast can they burst the best, and can they survive Eager's initial push on each fight, because you can see they do a good job of knocking off and taking care of him, but the problem is right after there's 3 players incredibly deep trying to pick up the Zeus that they just fall. And look at this, they steal away the speed, or they just look at the speed. They put pressure, draw HFM over there, and now it's going to be a Gold Fury.
And Ataraxia can't see to know when to airstrike or look for the poke damage. He's looking for the steal. Can he find it is the question. Eager get the Gold Fury. His MANALIKE was a little bit too late there with the Intoxicate. Now they're looking for a Roar though, when they're charging in. Meditate comes out as well to keep Zapman healed, but Zapman is in a will to hit the snipe from Prime. He's on the mark. They will bring down the Hunter, but it's what cost. They lost a Gold Fury, and Hungry for More, they're not going to find much more.
Divios is here as well, and look at this Variety just trying to get out. He is going to be able to heal up, knocks up 2, but MANALIKE is stuck behind enemy lines. Divios doing a good amount of burst, 1 more hit, and it's going to go to DJ back line. Best in a little bit of trouble.
One pickup for him, and now he's going to look for Divios as well, who has to turn and run. Fearless comes out from Variety, double kill to the Hunter of Hungry for More. The EU boys are starting to cheer in the crowd now. There's signs of life from Hungry for More.
DJ.
As they're looking to pressure mid.
Variety goes in, looking to the back line. Ataraxia jumps forward, and here comes the crit. Airstrikes out. Needs to switch targets to Aror, who's going to dash away, and it seems like Eager are going to be able to successfully reset, but HFM, they
tower.
lose gold, they get 3 members, and now it's going to be a tower.
Tower goes down for Hungry for More, and this is where we might see Hungry for More have a window. I mentioned that in game 1, and this is this window. They split the composition of Eager in 2. They chase down Zap, and now Auror's going to die in mid lane too. Hungry for More get him as well. 4 members still grouped up. They've got a Raw with sustain. Take that into account as well, as DJ now trying to defend against 3.
Zapman has respawned, and it looks like he's going to be chasing Variety very low. Raw backing off as well, and I'm pretty sure HFM are going to be able to get out of this for free, but Eager dropping the ball there a little bit. You can see Aror just expecting DJ to go in with them. He was a little bit behind on the timing, and Aror paced, and a little bit of misplay is going to allow HFM to have a chance back into this one.
A little bit, but can we go to the grass? Because I want to see how that fight really told us. Look at the swing back in experience and in gold. It could have continued further down after that Gold Fury, but it actually brought things back again for Hungry for More. As time goes on, the level 20s will start kicking in, and you can see that the experience won't matter as much as this game keeps going. Hungry for More just need to hold these tier 2 towers. If they can hold them for now and find another fight like that, we almost going to see them get away back in.
The biggest thing for me is that I believe all 3 of those kills went over to Ataraxia. You can see him sitting at 3-0-1. He's still behind about 1,000, but honestly, Hunters are the characters. They're the gods that if you get behind, as long as your Hunter is full build, they can carry games, right? They could just go off, they could find all their auto attacks, and honestly, if you RNG a couple crits as well, if he ends up going into that build, that's all you need.
Fearless onto Divios there as 4 members in the jungle from both teams here. As you can see, Aror was swinging around for a gank as DJ now caught out of position a little bit here. You saw Twig go aggressive, but Aror's going to pull him into an awkward position. Ragnarok Hughes taking him towards the best, and Best is there with the Zeus to confirm the kill. Aror gets the credit for it though, but that was just a well-played gank from Eager. 1v1 fight, Zap's in trouble. Ataraxia has those 3 kills, and he finds the 1v1, and there's the EU banter coming out from that Hunter.
Spam taunts are plentiful here. Variety now on the right-hand side. Eager still leading this game, pressuring out the tier 2. Prime's ready, and honestly, Variety's in a pretty good spot, but he gets knocked up by Aror, switches off, just trying to get the heal as he gets poked away, but Ataraxia takes the 1v1, uses the passive, gets back into the fight, and now sprints popped.
Ataraxia, what is he doing? He's quite happy to just keep going in. Aror's running for his life. Auto. Divios now has to defend. The Smite was just off the mark. Wall stops Variety, chasing onto Aror as well. But Ataraxia is pushing Hungry for More forward. He's like, boys, let's go. I just soloed Zapman.
djpernicus is going to be split pushing in the meantime, but right now, HFM, they got a little edge. Eager made just a few mistakes, and now they're taking advantage of it. This Raw is so useful. It's a 4v3 on the right-hand side. CaptainTwig's actually teleported over to the mid lane, so he's going to be able to defend that, and now Best in trouble, knocked up here. Divios on the front line, but Aror taking so much poke, and this should be a tower for HFM if they want to push it, but with DJ rotating in, they're going to back off.
All teams are tanky, but watch out, DJ will be the initiator here. Going to go in, looking for potentially MANALIKE with the Ragnarok and finds it again, but Variety finds the Fearless onto 2, keeping them out of fight. Twig picks up Aror. They're going to find one for Ataraxia as well, and now he gets a double kill, looking for the triple. Will he find it?
Pulled back in, airstrike, and it is going to be the triple. One more hit. Who's it go to? PrettyPriMe steals it away, but still 4 dead on the side of Eager. HFM fighting back into this one. They don't want to go home after just 2 games, and now it's going to be Fire Giant. Nathan Ataraxia, 15,000 damage, 6-0-3. He is climbing and clinging to this game.
Zapman versus the world here. The Fire Giant is under threat, and Variety is zoning Zapman away. Great poke from Zap, though. Variety needs to be careful. He's going to Lawbringer away, but Zap wants to give chase. Goes into Ataraxia now as well, and realizes it just in time before the snipe from Prime comes out.
PrettyPriMe, I almost thought he was going to die to Fire Giant there, but he's going to be able to get it. Now HFM have taken the kill lead. They've got Fire Giant in hand. It's only 5,000 separating the team, 22 minutes. That's exactly where HFM want to be.
Now, this is an even game right now. The Golden Experience slightly in favor of Eager still, but with the Fire Giant on their side and Hungry for More, they can just pick up this tier 1 tower left-hand side. That'll even things out straight away. Eager have just gone off the boil a little bit. They still were finding these wins, but a couple of bad fights and bad decisions to disengage have caused them a lot.
They've been trying to take fights where they're either down a man or they're hoping someone will rotate in time, and it just hasn't been that way. And honestly, DJ, he's been off the mark on a couple jumps. Game 1 was phenomenal, but I don't know if nerfs are getting to him. I don't think he's a player that has nerfs getting to him, but if he finds the stuns in some of these engagements, I think they go Eager's way.
Early game was definitely all Eager, and that's where Hungry for More are the weakest, but now they've actually managed to get themselves even in this game. They're the ones with the threat of the Fire Giant as well. They're going to push down left-hand side, look for the Phoenix furthest away from the Fire Giant respawn one more time. And at the moment, if you look at Eager, they're just trying to clear out jungle. They're expecting to lose this tower, and it looks like they're not going to be in position for the tier 2 just yet either.
This is such an incredible set. I mean, game 1, just complete domination from Eager. Game 2, it looked like it was going to be a 2-0, a quick 2-0, and then HFM were going home, but all it took was one mistake, just a couple, and now HFM, they're pressuring the tier 2 right now. They definitely want variety in the backline once again. They're going to look to isolate out best, I think, and make sure to always keep eyes on djpernicus. You can see he's always trying to loop around and do the same thing, looking for PrettyPriMe. Whoever gets to the backline mage first might just win the game off that.
And it's all about those two, because Variety was zoning out the backline of Eager in that little engagement where DJ went in and actually won that fight for Hungry for More. Slowly but surely, Hungry for More pushing in, using that raw heal to keep him sustained. And best you can see, getting the poke off with the chain lightning, but most of it sustained back up by this composition again, especially with the Rod of Sleepiest here for the extra mobility and the extra health.
And honestly, healing probably pretty high on PrettyPriMe. If we can take a look at that real quick, it looks like about 13,000. I mean, most players only have less than 10K, so really good job. This raw pick is going to be very useful, especially in these scenarios. It's double sustain, FG and raw heal.
Raw is the offensive support of mages where you can get the heals off. You're looking for a hell on defense, but you don't group up. But on offense, it's great to continue a siege over and over. Keep an eye on MANALIKE. He'll be the initial aggressor. Variety will look for a blink opportunity if he sees one and go in, and there it is. He gets the purification out of best straight away, and now Aror is under pressure, knocked up in the air by 3 of the members of Eager, and the damage onto actually Ataraxia there. He's out of the fight. Eager can win this fight now.
And now Variety in trouble as well. He's still stuck under tower. Great snipe, but not enough damage to finish anyone off. Variety makes it over to the tower. CaptainTwig on full retreat. Variety trying to get away. I'm pretty sure he's going to be chained down here. djpernicus has a little bit too much mobility. But look at this. I believe HFM are going to be pushed mid instead, but they run straight into Zapman. He made the rotation back.
Recognizes what's going on. Going to be able to go back for the tier 2. Variety going to sustain off the 3 members here of Eager. He will eventually fall, however, as they're looking for Zapman in the jungle. Zapman leading him on a merry goose chase towards his team. Prime going to meet up with djpernicus now as well, and now he's away from his team. This all the way from the towers of defense, and look at this, Eager going to run them through the jungle.
It looks like Ataraxia should be able to get away for now. Has a lot of mobility, but I mean, Prime is on the wrong side of the jungle, and Divios has spotted him out. He's going to make it to lane. You can see Ataraxia moving over to the left-hand side as well, going to try and provide any peel he can, but I mean, how is he going to get away? The passive Speed of Light, incredibly useful, but plucked out.
Aror finds it, and immediately Prime falls down, and that respawn time is 52 seconds, with Variety dead for another 20. You can see Eager now group up on this left-hand side and find some towers for themselves. They defended so well at the tier 2, but it was mainly the darkest of nights from Zapman.
It's so useful.
Closed vision off from the whole team of Hungry for More, and they took out Ataraxia. They forced him back, and without Ataraxia on this lineup, when he's 6-0-3, meant they had no fight in them.
And I like what Eager did too. The second the darkest of nights came, that was the call for initiation. DJ jumps in into the middle of 4, and he knew no one could actually see him. I believe it was Ataraxia who he picked up and brought back under the tower. Ataraxia forced out. He has been the carry so far for this squad, so taking him out of the fight at the beginning was the best thing that Eager could have done. And now, looks like they're going to be in the lead once again, about 6,000. This isn't that massive a lead, though.
This was a huge fight for Eager, though. They were against a Fire Giant team of Hungry for More
who
had morale. They had the boost. They had the actual control of this game at that moment. They'd managed to spur things on from a deficit that was ridiculous to come back from, make it even, and then to turn that again on the head against a Fire Giant team and actually win that fight was massive.
Speaking of Fire Giant, 20 seconds until it spawns, and now it's probably going to be the next point of contention as both teams start warding up deep into the jungles of their opponents. They want full vision right now. Ataraxia looks like he's got about 590 gold in hand, so he's going to be looking to finish off his Wind Demon as soon as possible. That's going to enhance his crit power, and when he crits, just that bonus movement speed, it's going to be incredibly useful.
You mentioned crit. Well, Zapman's got his online already. A bit of a rage there. Now he's working on the Wind Demon as well, so Zapman will start swinging to the Hunters, will take to the forefront in terms of the player damage. Already, Ataraxia topping that above the Mage Zeus in the mid lane as well.
It's going to be picks. Honestly, right now, Hungry for More, they've been doing such a good job of shutting down the best. You can see he has the most deaths on the team by a large margin.
Twig, a lot of trouble, has to dash away. Divios going on the side, looks for Prime, bursted down, annihilated, and now Variety has to Lawbringer away. Great ult from Twig, though, will defend him, but they find a pick for free, and it was their sustain.
A 5-man knockout from Twig, and you still lose the fight. PrettyPriMe caged in. That was one of the biggest problems I thought Hungry for More would have, would be this raw. Keeping them alive in the engagement engagements, and he's been the first to fall. Divios just targeting him out every single time. Great job from them, and now MANALIKE forced off and Eager. They finally find the Fire Giant in their hands.
Now they're back in control of this game. After defending it themselves, they now get the advantage. Still dead for another 20 seconds is PrettyPriMe as well, so we'll expect to see Hungry for More give up this tier 2 tower on the right-hand side. Eager will need to just extend their lead again. They want to get more gold in hand, finish off these builds a little bit more. You can see actually in items, just looking at their inventory slots there, that Eager have a slight advantage overall there.
This is the best spot for Eager to take back control of the game. If they take a little bit later, then both teams are full build, but right now, they can have about an item edge heading into the last couple of fights. You can see they're going to lock down that Gold Fury as well. Looks like about 1,600 in hand for Divios, and everyone else is pretty close to that as well.
I'm loving this Eagle lineup right now. The fact that they took control of both games,
yes.
Then they went behind. Honestly, they went behind and they lost control of this one, but had the presence of mind to get it back. They had one good fight against it. They fought a tier 2 tower against a Fire Giant team. Nobody really does that. That doesn't happen that often.
I mean, they still had about a 6K lead and a little bit of experience, but I mean, it's just the ability of them to just all follow the calls. There's full commitment from the squad, and they did such a good job. You could see in their engagements, they always have a plan. DJ is looking for the hard carry. Before it was, let's pick off MANALIKE, let's pick off PrettyPriMe. They're easy targets, but now it's switched over. Look, Ataraxia has 6 kills. He's a hunter that's nearly full build. He's then the one that's been able to carry them back into the game against us, so now my target is going to be him. Take him away, lock him down. Even if I don't find the kill, which he didn't, he got away. But still, not having that powerhouse in the fight made it almost impossible for HFM.
Well, now only one tier 2 tower remains in the mid lane for Eager to try and take down. Also, Prime on this Raw in the mid lane, he's going to be very difficult to actually sustain his team up because you stand still in a group, you're going to get annihilated in this, and so the tier 2 will fall. Keep an eye, there's not going to be as much sustain this time around for Hungry for More, as Eager take the final tier 2 and are looking for the middle Phoenix.
And now, coming in, it looks like Aror, Dark Side is popped. The team's just looking, but look at this, in the back, it's going to be CaptainTwig with the Typhoon. This is everyone.
They want Zapman bad, but there's the Zeus damage coming out from TheBest, and he'll take out MANALIKE. Variety couldn't get to him. Zap knew the game plan, and Zap got away.
Just excellent execution from Eager, just completely peeling back. They saw what HFM was doing, and under a second, reacted to it perfectly. First Phoenix down, PrettyPriMe here on the left-hand side, but the rest has rotated in as well. Variety to the back by himself.
He's trying to push them off, but now he's alone as well as DJ goes in very deep. It's Variety in trouble. Slowed down, one more hit would have been enough from Zap, but not enough for the kill. Phoenix will fall, 2 Phoenixes down. Eager are looking to go through to the semi-finals to face Panthera.
DJ jumps forward, airstrike on Ataraxia, just trying to get out. Does good damage, but it's gonna be Divios locking it 2. He's taking out 1, and Zapman follows up with Prime. There's only 2 players left alive for Hungry for More, but Eager, they're playing it safe. They don't want to end just yet.
Well, they do want to end if they can, but the problem is there's no minions just yet, so they're going to go for the final Phoenix here. Only 2 members alive from Hungry for More to defend. Ataraxia does come back with MANALIKE though, so there's 3 now, but they're just not able to. Arosa's going to pluck 1 into the danger zone, which was MANALIKE forcing the flop away. However, Ataraxia got some great poke off onto Aurora there, but with all 3 Phoenixes down now, Eager still looking to end this game.
Bye-bye, 1 more kill. Divios shuts down Ataraxia, and you can see the hands on his head on the left-hand side. Eager piling in. Typhoon is good, but there goes the Zeus Salt. Variety falls, and it's going to be Eager 2-0 over Hungry for More.
North America take first blood in the old battle of Europe versus NA, and it was a good battle as well. Game 1, absolute perfection from Eager. Game 2, though, Hungry for More, they showed why they deserved to get here.
It was really surprising, honestly, that Eager so dominant in not only the first game, but it looked like the second one as well. Ataraxia and crew showing that they can fight back, that they did deserve to be here on the stage, but I think it was just a clash of metas that honestly, they weren't ready for.
A real crazy fight between these 2 over and over again. There's Zapman happy with his team there. They look quite calm though, overall. I think
no pressure.
Game 1, there was no real pressure on them. They just controlled the pace of the game the whole time. And then Game 2, well, things went in their favor.
Let's take a look here at the end game screen. Ataraxia doing a phenomenal job actually topping the damage charts. He was the run. He was the one. He got 3 kills on that left-hand side, another 3 kills once the team fights broke out. Didn't fall until the last fight of the game, the last couple seconds. And honestly, a really good showing from him. This is a team that started off 1-7. They were 8th in the league coming out of the 3rd week, but they've done such a good job of fighting back here. Obviously not able to take out Eager, but a really solid showing.
Well, if you're a North American right now, you're just waking up with breakfast. Congratulations, your first team has advanced through to the semi-final to meet Panthera
Cool.
in the upper bracket. Later on today, though, coming up next, I should say, is Red Canids up against Chaos Latin Gamers. Battle of Brazil versus Latam.
Winner of that going to be facing off against the runner-ups at World Enemy Esports, and we're going to be closing the day with Paradigm versus Soar.
Well, it's been a fantastic day so far, and it's not all over just yet. We've also going to have a little conversation as well with one of the players of Eager shortly, and it's been a good performance from them.
Yeah, we'll find out who we're going to interview. I'd imagine probably Zapman. Could be djpernicus as well. They're all pretty
They're all pretty good for
guys.
themselves, but Eagle look very, very good there. That matchup against Panthera will be tomorrow. Take that one into account. Make sure you're ready for that, because that's going to be an absolute barn burner between those two.
You know, Eager looked really good against HFM, but they're going up against the best in Europe, and it's going to be much tougher in a best of 5.
Enough of us, boys and girls. We're going to throw it over to F-Doc at the main stage and find out what Eager have to say.
Yo, thanks a lot, Hindu Man. I'm here with djpernicus. You're the captain of Eager. You guys did fantastically. Heading up against Hungry for More, this one looked a little bit one-sided. Did you expect that outcome?
I mean, we expected the outcome, but I think the reason it went that way is because we were so well prepared. It's not that they're like a bad team and it was like a landslide because we're just so much better. I think we were just more prepared and knew exactly what they were going to do. And so we were able to execute exactly what we wanted to do, and that's why we won.
Right, I was talking a little bit to your coach, Beliskner. He does a lot of the work behind the scenes. Without giving too much away, can you sort of expand on just what he means to your team and how important it is to have that guy around?
Yeah, well, I think with how, even though Smite's been around for a while, it's still kind of new. You know, some games have been out for like 10 years. So you look at players' builds, and some of them are pretty bad mathematically, and so he does a good job of kind of like saying, well, what if you try this, or you try this, making things a little more optimal, and he keeps us level-headed. He's there at every scrim, which is hard for him because he's European, to keep everyone kind of on the same page, you know, and calm down any like arguments and whatnot, so he means a lot to us.
Awesome. You guys, casters are always talking about your egos and this, that, and a third. I want to hear your side of it. Obviously, there's a lot of big personalities, but that, I think, allows you to be successful. Shine a little light on the personal side of Eager and how that translates onto the battlefield.
Well, I think, obviously, our persona to everyone online is a hell of a lot different than what it is behind the scenes, you know, in a team environment. And to some extent, like, you need to have an ego to be a competitive person. And I know I've had conflicts with players in the past in Smite, and some of that is because they just weren't competitive people. And that's what I look for in teammates, and that's exactly why I started this season, you know, with Zap and Divios and 2 of the guys from my old team, because I knew they all had the competitive mentality that they needed to go to a LAN event and play well. So yeah.
It's that drive to succeed, which is why you're here in Europe, DreamHack 2016, and headed on to the semifinals. You're going to be going against the defending world champions, Panthera. I assume you've got the same level of preparation. What do you think about that next matchup, and how you feeling? Yeah,
well, I mean, we saw the Chinese solo laner almost get Dimmy, so I don't know, I think Divios will be all right. No, I'm just kidding. They're a good team. They're a really good team. And to be honest, everyone was talking about how, oh, Eager, you know, they're in the worst side of the bracket. And it's like, yeah, but we want to play the good teams. We want to play the #1 team, you know, the world champions. If we came here and we didn't get to play them, then we would be upset. That's kind of the mindset we have. So, you know, we're just going to do our best. Whatever happens, happens. Obviously, we're confident. It just should be fun. That's what it's going to be, so.
Good to see the breakdown between the egos, and then you got, of course, Aror in the back line. Before we let you go, anything that you want to say to the fans at home or anything else?
Well, I didn't get to do an interview all season, partially because of me and how busy I was. So I think I'll take this time to just say thank you to everyone who subbed to me on my channel. It's not a huge stream, but I got a good group of people there. So thanks for them for hanging out with me on a regular basis.
Awesome. Well, once again, congratulations on your win. That's the captain of Team Eager, djpernicus. We'll catch you in a few. We'll be right back.